Hello everyone, welcome back. In Java, whenever we are developing web application, we should definitely need to provide security, which is two-factor authentication and authorization. There comes the Spring Security. First of all, let me discuss about why we need Spring Security and what is Spring Security. Spring Security is a powerful and highly customizable authentication and access control framework. It is the de facto standard for securing Spring-based applications. Mainly, Spring Security is about authentication and authorization. Let me discuss about what is authentication and why we need this with an example. An application, when we have to discuss about authentication, it is an application needs to know who is accessing the application. So, authentication is related to word who. That means who is accessing the application. For that, we have to log in and we have to provide the user credentials, which is username and password. Application will check it by a login form by providing the username and the password. It will validate the username and password. User will enter username and password, and these inputs which we have provided in the username and the password will be validated by the application. The username and password will be validated by the application when we provided the Spring Security framework. Once the validation is successful, user is declared as authenticated. When we provided the username and password credentials in the as a input in the username and password field, and the Spring Security will validate and authenticate, will validate the username and password. After the validation, if the username and password are correct, it will say that the validation is successful and the corresponding user can the corresponding user is declared as authenticated and he can access the data. That is authentication. If you want to discuss the authentication in Spring Security with an example, let me open an application in the Spring Boot. See here. Here I am having the library management system. In that library management system, I am running the application. Yeah, the application is started and the application is running. See here, started library management system application. I want to access the library page. See here. Here I want to access the show library reg, show librarian reg URL resource. I want to access that the page resource. See here. here I am accessing the show librarian reg registration librarian registration page. Here I am entering the some values like 21 as an id and the user as something like Jonathan, something like John. Password is 123 and the email is johm@gmail.com. Phone number something like 333. I'm hitting the save button. It will redirect to the login page. And here I have to enter the email which I have entered in the registration page. Some john@gmail. If I see here, there I have entered the password as 123. Here I am entering the password as some 1 2 and hitting the save. Here the exception is forbidden 403 status. That means in the registration of the librarian, I have entered the password as 123, and after the registration in the login page, I have entered the password as 12. That means the passwords, both the passwords did not match. How it is validating the registration page password and the login page password? Let me explain in detail. See here, librarian controller. Here in the librarian controller, when I hit the show librarian registration and enter when I hit the show librarian registration page, it is showing the library registration page, and when we enter the details, it is redirecting to the login page. When I have entered the password in the registration of the librarian page, see here, it is encoding the password and saving the password in the database. It is encoding the password and saving the registration page password in the database. And when we entered the password in the login page, it is validating with the password which is there in the database, which is encoded password which is present in the database. How it is validating means, first of all, how it is validating means, by using the user details service interface, it is loading the user which is registered user which is present in the database by using the load user by username. It is loading the user details. When the user details has been loaded, a user object has been created, and it is validating the password which is there, which comes from the database. It is validating the password which comes from the database by the password which we have entered in the login page. How it is validating means, in the security service simple, see here, from the user details service, I have injected the user details service into the security service implementation. So in the user detail service, we have already loaded that means in the librarian detail service, we have already loaded the user from the, we have already get the user from the database. That means we have already have the password and all the details of the user, and we have injected it into the security service simple. In the security service simple, we have loaded the user which is there in the librarian details service simple. We have loaded the user, that means we have already have the user details with completely with the password. And here by using the username password authentication token manager, by using the username password authentication token, it is authenticating the password which is there in the database, which is encoded password which is present in the database with the login password that which we have entered. It is validating both the passwords which comes from the database, that means which is loaded from the database, with the password that we have entered there in the login page. Here username password authentication token, by creating the object of the username password authentication token, it is authenticating the token. Here we have provided the user details, password, credentials, everything. That means to validate which comes from the database, the password which comes from the database, it is validating by username password authentication token. We have provided the user details password user details dot get authorities, that means to validate by using the authentication manager dot authenticate, we are authenticating the user details. And after that, if the authentication is true, that means the token, here the token, that means the object username password authentication token object, we have taken the reference variable, and we are authenticating it. If the result becomes true, it will save the password, that means it will save the details into the security context holder, and it will create the authentication object, and it will return the boolean value. That means if the validation is true, it will return the boolean true result. Like that it will authenticate. That means here we have entered the wrong password in the login page. So after validating the both the passwords, it shows the results as boolean false. That means after validation we have entered the wrong password, no? So that's why it has shown the wrong details. See here, the password has been encoded like this. This is the encoded password. Now we will check by entering the correct password. The application is running. Yes, the application has been started. Let me check once by entering the correct password. After entering the correct password, you won't get this 403 forbidden. Let me. Before I entered the wrong password. Now I will enter the correct password. Let me check it. Before I entered the 12312. Now I will enter the correct password, which I have entered the password before in the registration. In the registration page, I have provided the password as 123. Now in the login page also, I will provide the 123. Before I have provided the 12. So that's why it is validated and it results in the 403 forbidden. Let me check. 1, 2, 3. And let me see here. It is authenticated, and the passwords which I have entered in the login page and the registration page, both the passwords have been validated. Both the encoded password and the password which we have entered has been validated, and after the successful validation, it has been authenticated, and after that we can access the data. It will redirect into the books page and we have access to the data. This is the best example about authentication. This is about authentication. Let me discuss about authorization. Authorization is to check whether user can access the application or not, or what user can access and what user cannot access. That means, let me discuss the authorization topic. Then example. Here, when we click here, web security config, here, if we see here in the protected void configure field, we have provided in the AND matches section /show librarian page, and we have declared it as .permitall. That means all the URLs which has been presented here, we can access them. That means we can access them here /show librarian. Copy. See here, I'm accessing the URL. Show librarian page. See here, we have accessed the librarian page. That means here in the AND matches section, all the URLs which has been presented in the AND matches section, we have declared them as permitall. That means all the URLs, we can access all the resources of that URLs. See here, what I am doing is, copy. No. And I have taken the another AND matches section, and that AND matches section should be accessed by the admin only. No other persons cannot access those URLs. See here, these AND matches should be accessed by the admin. Admin has the authority to access this URL. Let me run it. Yes, application has started running. That means here I have provided the show librarian page URL in the AND matches where it has the authority to be accessed by the admin only. Show librarian page. That means it should not come. It should show the 403 forbidden. Here. This is about authorization. This is about authorization. Now we have done with the example of authorization. Authorization is to check whether user can access the application or the resource or not. For what user can access and what user cannot access will be done by the authorization. That's all about authorization. And whereas when we come to JWT, Java Web Token. If you want to discuss about JWT in detail, we have client and the server. When the client send request, some post request or get request to the server, here the client that can't be trusted, post login with username and password. When we send the URL to the server creates the JWT token. The server creates the JWT token, and the token, it will send the token as a response to the client. The server will send the token as a response to the client. Server send JWT to the client. It will send the token to the client. And after some time, when the client want to send another request to the server, it will already have that web token, no? JWT web token. It will send a copy to the server with the request, with the corresponding request. The client will send the JWT token to the server with the corresponding request. And when the request with the token came to the server, the server will validate the token which has been sent by the client, and if the token is valid, it will send the response again to the client. If the token is not valid, it will not trust the client and it will not send the response back to the client. This is all about JWT, JSON Web Token. This is all about JSON Web Token. It is a stateless management. This is all about a brief introduction about JWT token. We will all discuss these programmatically in the next sessions. When we come to OAuth, OAuth is one of the best security to the Spring Security framework. If you want to discuss about OAuth, OAuth is a authentication and authorization standard which allows an application to gain access to user. OAuth is a federated authentication and delegated authorization which allows one app to access the user data within another application on user's behalf. If you want to discuss in detail about OAuth, OAuth is an authentication and authorization standard which allows one application to gain access to user's data within another app without knowing the user's user ID and password. That means the credentials for the second app. If you want to discuss deeply into the OAuth standard, here we have the client Gmail and Zoom. We have the Gmail app and the Zoom app and the client. Here the user who is using Zoom app and the Zoom app wants to get some data which application Gmail has for the user, and the Zoom app wants to get some data which application Gmail, that means get some data which application Gmail has for the user, that means the client. Instead of user sharing his password and ID of Gmail with the Zoom through OAuth, instead of user sharing his password and ID, that means the credentials of Gmail with Zoom, the credentials, the complete credentials of his account, of his details with the Zoom through OAuth, application Zoom, when the client clicks the application Zoom, it will redirect to the Gmail. It will redirect to the Gmail through OAuth, where he will log in, and from that point of time, Gmail will share a security token with the application Zoom. When Zoom redirects to Gmail through OAuth, where he will log in, from that point of time, Gmail will share a security token with Zoom, using which these two apps communicate, and Zoom will get all the data which it requires from the Gmail. This process of logging and getting authorized, this entire workflow is called OAuth. This process of logging and getting authorized, this entire workflow is called OAuth. When the user clicks on Zoom app, it will redirect to the Gmail, and when it redirects to the Gmail, the client enters the credentials, and the credentials won't be shared to the Zoom app, and by then after giving the credentials to the Gmail, where it has been redirected, it will share a security token with the Zoom app, using which these two apps communicate, and Zoom will get the required data, not the complete data, the authorized data, and it will get the authorized data from the Gmail when these two communicate. This process of logging in and getting authorized, this entire workflow is called OAuth. This is all about Spring Security main frameworks. In the next session, we will discuss these concepts programmatically. Thank you.